Welcome to Breaking Down the Bars, where I break down the poetry tools that I use to build the bars for my poems. That was alliteration. Whenever I teach a spoken word workshop, I always equip my participants with the performance and literary tools needed to create their own poems. So let's collect some poetry tools for your poetry toolbox. Today we're breaking down the bars in It's What I Want to Be, my poem inspired by the movie Wicked.
Being green, black, means you often have to make twice as good, so I'll make good, no, I'll make great. Your fear of me is insecurity, in my pigment it did not originate. You think I'm angry when really I'm just jaded, exhausted by the times I've been just the color I was shaded. This dark black skin.
Okay, before we even get into the poetry tools used, let's get into the poetic structure of this poem. This is a two-voice poem, one of my favorite types of poems. In a two-voice poem, the text is split up into two columns, one for each voice. Sometimes the characters speak individually, sometimes they speak simultaneously, and sometimes the lines overlap. Two-voice poems are often used to show different perspectives on the same topic. In this poem, you have two different but very similar perspectives on being a woman who has a different skin color than those around her. I think two-voice poems are so cool and make for some really, truly dope spoken word group pieces. If you were with me last week, you might recognize this as an example of allusion. Go watch last week's episode if you missed it. Allusion is a reference typically brief to a person, place, thing, event, or other literary work that the listener is presumably familiar. So, means you often have to make twice as good is a reference to the movie Wicked, in which Elphaba talks about how if she makes good, then she'll be able to meet the wizard in the song The Wizard and I. Help me meet the wizard if I make good. So I'll make good. This is also an allusion to the well-known phrase within the Black community about having to be twice as good to get half of what white folks have. There are so many tools in these two little lines, so I'll go over a few of them. We see the use of repetition, which is intentionally using a word or phrase for effect 2 or more times within close proximity of each other. Repeating the same words or phrases can bring clarity to a certain idea and or make it memorable for the reader. So I use I'll make twice to build an energy, since we're going from making good to making great. So it's kind of like that. We ramping it up. We also see parallelism, which is the repetition of similar grammatical structure within a line or sentence. These two lines have half the same words, they have the same syllables, and even though the first two words are different, they sound the same. That's also called rhyme. This allowed me to build on the rhythm of the poem. Another tool you can find here is contrast, which is a form of parallelism. This is a type of opposition between two objects highlighted to emphasize their differences. So we're contrasting making good with the better option of making great. This is one of my favorite bars in the poem. The repetition of I've been, we see the tool epistrophe, which is the repetition of words or phrases at the end of lines. I love the wordplay in these bars, which come from the use of homonyms, which are words that sound the same, are spelled the same, but have different meanings. So we see this with the words jaded and shaded. For my character in the poem, the Black woman, I say, people think I'm angry when really I'm just jaded, meaning I'm emotionally exhausted from having to deal with being subtly disrespected all the time. Whereas the Elphaba character, she says, people think I'm angry when really I'm just jaded, as in jaded meaning she's just green. And she says, this is just the color I've been shaded, meaning she's been shaded a green color. Whereas with the Black woman, she's been shaded, meaning subtly disrespected. Bars! Thanks for watching Breaking Down the Bars. Were there any poetry tools you noticed that I didn't break down? Have questions? Make sure you let me know in the comments. And if you're interested in booking me for a poetry workshop, whether in person or virtual, be sure to reach out to me on the contact page of my website. Thanks so much for watching. And be sure to like and subscribe.